The Chicago Cubs went into last season thinking that they would build their offensive ball club around Anthony Rizzo and Starlin Castro. The lovable losers come into this season thinking that they'll build their ball club around Anthony Rizzo and Starlin Castro. At least they're persistent. Hey, we'll talk more about Rizzo in his own segment, but today we're going to focus in on Starlin Castro, who will enter the 2014 season turning just 24 years old. The Cubs had every reason to be optimistic, if not ecstatic, about Starlin going into last year. He was just turning 23 and already had 3 solid seasons under his belt. The last 2 were stellar. He averaged .295 batting average, 195 hits per year, 12 home runs, 85 runs scored, 72 RBI, and 24 stolen bases. And then the 2013 Cubs happened. The Cubbies finished in last place in the NL Central, losing 96 games, being outscored by 87 runs, and the rising tide sunk nearly every boat in its way, including Castro's. Starlin hit .300, .307, and .283 in his first 3 years in the league. Then last year, .245. Castro's home run totals went from 3 to 10 to 14, and then last year, back to 10. Castro had 2 consecutive years of over 20 stolen bases with 22 and 25, and then last season just 9. No matter what metric you look at, Castro regressed last season, and because of that, you've now got the gift of opportunity on your hands. Castro currently has an ADP of 133, and he's the 8th shortstop coming off the boards in the thinnest position in fantasy baseball. And with the hiring of Rick Renteria as manager and some of the other Spanish-speaking coaches, Castro now has the opportunity to become comfortable once again this season. Am I suggesting that he's going to be the #1 fantasy shortstop in the game? No, not at all. But he does have a chance to move into the list of top 5 shortstops and top 100 fantasy players overall. Given that he's only going to be 24 years old and has already proved that he can thrive in a major media market, I'm willing to give Castro the benefit of the doubt and suggest that the odds are better that he'll perform like he did the first 3 years he did in the National League than he did last season. To me, Starlin Castro presents great value at these levels, and I think he has more than a reasonable chance to duplicate his 2011 and 12 seasons rather than his 2013 season. And if that's the case, you've got a solid sleeper on your hands.